This program is Rainbow Born as Beauty, and it's been shown now about 550 times over the last 40-some years in various stages of growth in the 5 states around, plus a number of national gatherings. I had the joy of sharing it with the 4-H club young people here in Wisconsin, with about 1,200 youth at the University of Wisconsin one year, and then showed it to about 1,000 Farm Bureau women at various spots. So this is Rainbow Born as Beauty. This is my Father's world, and to my listening ears all nature sings, and round me rings the music of the spheres. This is my Father's world. I rest me in the thought of rocks and trees, of skies and seas, His hands the wonders wrought. This is my Father's world. The birds their carols raise, the morning light, the lily white, declare their Maker's praise. This is my Father's world. He shines in all that's fair. In the rustling grass I hear Him pass. He speaks to me everywhere. Evening moon up yonder, teach me like you to wander willingly and obediently the path that God hath given me. Evening moon up yonder. Teach me, gentle flowers, to wait for springtime showers, and in this winter world to grow green and strong beneath the snow. Teach me, gentle flowers. Mighty ocean, teach me to do the task that needs me, and reflect as days depart heaven's peace within my heart. Mighty ocean, teach me. Shady lanes, refreshing, teach me to be a blessing to some weary soul each day. Friend or foes who pass my way, shady lanes refreshing. Evening sun descending, teach me when life is ending that night shall pass, and I like you shall rise again where life is new. Teach me, sun descending. For beauty in the flower's cup, for pine and redwood reaching up, we thank you, God. For clouds of white and skies of blue, for flash of sun on water too, we thank you, God. For mountains high and fertile plains, for sunshine's warmth and refreshing rains, we thank you, God. For colors bright and music's mirth, for little creatures of the earth, we thank you, God. For twinkling stars and pale moonlight, for rest that comes to us at night, we thank you, God. There's part of the sun in the apple, there's part of the moon in the rose, there's part of the flaming Pleiades in every leaf that grows. Out of the vast comes nearness, for the God whose love we sing sends a little of God's heaven into every living thing. Well, as Phyllis and I have traveled around this beautiful, great, delightful country of ours, we've come to the conclusion that there are more ways of sensing beauty than just with one's eyes. For instance, one can hear beauty in the songs of birds and insects and butterflies, in the songs of rain and water, in the songs of wind through trees and grasses, in the song of the high-pitched scrape of a sharp blade on the coldness of ice and the bleakness of winter. We have sensed that one can feel beauty in the warmth of sunshine, in the coldness of snow, in the arching of the rainbow as it gathers colors from the atmosphere, in the freshness which follows the rain, in the rippling of the lithe muscles of God's wild creatures. We've also sensed that we can smell beauty in the fragrance of the flowering dogwood trees, in the pungent aroma of newly stirred earth as the mushrooms push their way through the soil in a single night, in the spicy odors of pine forest and quaking aspen grove, in the freshness of a spring blossoming tree. And we remember reading in the Old Testament, God hath made everything beautiful in His time. And then when we stood for the first time on the north rim of Grand Canyon, when first I stood transfigured there, my soul released a fervent prayer, and this thought rode the purple mists. Oh, what a sight for atheists. Peace I ask of thee, O river, peace, peace, peace. When I learn to live serenely, cares will cease. From the hills I gather courage, visions of the day to be, strength to lead, and faith to follow. All are given unto me. Peace I ask of thee, O river, peace, peace, peace. For the water, pure and clear, we thank you, God. For the rain and for the snow, we thank you, God. For the flowers and for the trees, we thank you, God. For the animals and for the birds, we thank you, God. For the sun, the moon, the stars, we thank you, God. Well, I love a tree. A brave, upstanding tree. When I'm worried in the strife and beaten by storms and bruised by life, I look up at a tree, and it refreshes me. If it can keep its head held high and look the storm straight in the eye, ready to stand, ready to die, then by the grace of God can I. At least with heaven's help I'll try. I love a tree, for it refreshes me. I love a tree. When it seems dead, its leaves all shorn and bared its head, when winter flings its cold and snow, it stands there undismayed by woe. It stands there waiting for the spring. A tree is such a believing thing. I love a tree, for it refreshes me. I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth's sweet flowing breast, a tree that looks at God all day and lifts its leafy arms to pray, a tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in its hair, upon whose bosom snow is lain, who intimately lives with rain. Poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree. Some things there are which make me know that God is gentleness and power, titanic Gothic peaks of snow, and a little white alpine flower. Some things there are which make me see that God is beauty, goodness, grace, the growing greatness of a tree standing in some desert place. Some things there are which make me feel that God is vision, light, and dream. 'Tis when I watch the twilight steal over some hill or lake or stream. Some things there are which make me sense God's wonderful omnipotence. 'Tis when I stand upon the peaks and see the rainbow as it speaks. Some things there are which make me sure that God is truthful, just, and pure. It is to watch God's white moon swing and hear God's coral planets sing. God our Creator made the world, and then the sky of blue around it curled. God made the lovely flowers and trees and sparkling rivers and lakes and seas, the animals and birds that fly, and then God made us by and by. Rainbow-born is beauty, born of the clouds on high, pink rose, tulip, and starlit beauty of earth and sky. Rainbow-born are sunsets, purple and gold and blue, black clouds, fire-slit, flame-flung, where the light pours through. Rainbow-born is morning, out of the eastern dream, light on the green grass meadow, gold on the silver stream. Rainbow-born is autumn, curtains and tapestries, touched with the timeless tumult of crimson and yellow leaves. Rainbow-born is beauty, born of the dust of things, light and the lift of loving, and souls that sing. Well, this is God's world. God has formed earth and sky, towering mountain and fertile plains, and rivers flowing by. This is God's world. God made each living thing, each lowly creature of the earth, birds soaring on the wing. This is God's world. What wonders here we find, and yet greater far than all God's gift is the wonder of a child's mind. I saw God wash the world last night. I think this is probably my favorite. I saw God wash the world last night with God's sweet showers on high, and then when morning came I saw God hang it out to dry. God washed each tiny blade of grass and every trembling tree. God flung showers against the hills and swept the billowing sea. The white flower is a cleaner white. The red flower is more red, since God washed each fragrant face and put them all to bed. There's not a bird, there's not a bee that wings along the way, but is a cleaner bird or bee than it was yesterday. I saw God wash the world last night. Ah, would God have washed me as clean of all my dust and dirt as those old white birch trees. And then finally, God, whom touchest earth with beauty, make me lovely too. With thy spirit recreate me. make my heart anew. Like thy springs and rushing waters, make me crystal pure. Like thy rocks of towering grandeur, make me strong and sure. Like thy dancing waves in sunlight, make me glad and free. Like the straightness of the pine tree, let me upright be. And like the archings of the heavens, lift my thoughts above. Turn my dreams to noble actions, ministries of love. O God, who touchest earth with beauty, make me lovely too. Keep me ever by thy Spirit, pure and strong and true.